Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk a little SLIAC All-Decade Team Men's Soccer Edition. We are joined once again today by Terry Logue. Terry, thank you for joining us to talk some soccer.
Well, let's get on the pitch.
That's right. All right, head into the pitch. When you're looking at the 1990s and SLIAC soccer, McMurray College. Can you tell us about McMurray back in the 90s?
Well, when the conference first started, McMurray was the premier team. They won 3 league titles and a tournament title, but ironically, they also made the NCAA tournament in 90, 91, and 92. And they were coached by Bill Killen, who's actually not on the all-decade team, but one heck of a fine gentleman and a great coach. Little side note on Bill. In college, he played in an NCAA Division I championship.
That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. He has the experience to back up the coaching. That's right. A couple other programs from the 90s in the St. Louis area, Fontbonne and Maryville. Can you talk about those two programs?
Well, Fontbonne won a couple of league championships, a couple of tournament titles, and also made the NCAA tournament in 91 and 92. And a little interesting note, one of those years, and I'd have to go back and look, McMurray, Fontbonne, and Washington University, all 3 of them made the NCAA tournament, and they were all sent to the University of San Diego to play the regional.
Well, I mean, there's got to be worse spots than going to San Diego for a national game. So I'm sure
That's
they
right.
didn't mind. Sure, they didn't mind getting out of the Midwest.
They went a long way to play each other.
That's right. When we get ready to move in, talk about some of the individual standout players, this is a list that, I mean, you could talk days on days about, but there's one player in particular that I wanted to ask you about from McMurray College. I think you know where I'm going with this. Pedro Rodriguez. Can you tell us about Pedro?
Well, Pedro Rodriguez is once in a lifetime player, at our schools. He was a 4-time first team all conference performer. Not surprisingly, player of the year in 91, 92, and 93. He was a 2-time NSCAA All-American. And if you want to read about his statistical exploits, go look at the record book. He leads in points and assists.
Yep, and you don't have to go down very far to find his name. That's right. What are some other standout players for you as you look down this list?
Well, when you go down this list, there's actually too many to mention, but Paschal Damkin of Maryville, he was 3-time all-conference performer, still holds the record for goals in a game. I believe he scored 6 a couple of times. You've got the newcomer of the year in 95, Dwayne Kern. He was a 4-time all-conference performer from Maryville. You had Hugo Lara from McMurray, the player of the year in 98, a 2-time all-conference performer. Rodney Malone of Greenville, a 4-time first-team all-conference player. Jeff Muschak from Maryville, player of the year in 94, 2-time all-conference performer. And then I need to mention Jeff Reese of Webster. He was the newcomer of the year in 98, player of the year in 99, a 2-time first-team all-conference performer. And, he dominated on the basketball court as well. And he's in the Hall of Fame, along with Pedro Rodriguez.
Yeah, some true standout performers. And as Terry mentioned, everyone, if you want to just be kind of taken aback, go ahead to the record book and look at that. And many of these players' names still in the record book 30 years later. Well, Terry, I enjoyed listening to you talk about and reminisce the 1990s men's soccer. I can't wait to hear what you got to say about the women's soccer in a couple days. Thank you for joining us and look forward to speaking with you then.
Thank you very much.